okay, so this is a
providing six
story.
reference.
So we're going to start with Aaron Mate, and this is a story that hopefully will come back with more information and detail. But maybe Sam, you have a few things that you want to mention right now, and then I'll mention a few things maybe. So Aaron Mate wrote, "America is back," retweeting a BBC post that was pretty much saying that France had recalled ambassadors from US and Australia in wake of new security pact it described as a stab in the back. And of course, this has to do with the whole nuclear submarines and
AUKUS.
submarine. Yeah. So do you have anything to add about this? I have like a little comment to make
No,
that goes with
I mean, we're
Aaron.
gonna make a great video about this. I think. I mean, I'm gonna make it. I think it's gonna be interesting. But anyway, the only thing I would add is that they never went anyway. What
They
do you
went
mean
where?
they're back?
Oh,
They never went anyway.
yeah.
It's
But I
always
think,
been this way. They
yeah.
never changed so that like it's not as if like America was loyal for 2 days and then suddenly.
But would you find this
Or any
analysis?
country.
Would you find this view that I'm gonna give kind of naive? And I realize that it's naive because I realize that's like the France's talking point. I saw that they had picked exactly that, and they're pretty much labeling this move as Trump-like. And it kind of had the feeling of like Trump, especially at the end when his presidency was coming to an end, he just tried to like put any two deals together. Like he'd find like two random people on the street. He'd be like, "You guys want to make a deal? If you want, you can come to the White House tomorrow, take photos."
Sudan, have you recognized Israel yet? Have you met Israel?
So it just felt like one of those, like they woke up, okay, submarine deal. Yeah, okay, we're all good. No?
No. I mean,
and the way it happened, and apparently, sorry, let me just add one or two things. And apparently, the French didn't get any warning, and the French are saying, "How could you do this to an ally?" And of course, the French are going to suffer some also financial consequences because Australia had apparently signed a deal with them to get some kind of submarine or nuclear submarine all the way back in 2015. So of course, there's also the financial side to them. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, first of all, the financial side you're talking about over like $900 billion. So, that's probably the most important side there is. Secondly, no, I don't think this was I don't think at all this was sort of typical, like Trumpian. Although I don't think there's that much difference between US presidents. But this is a big important deal, I think, in financially, strategically, and I think French criticisms are again it's PR. It's not real criticism because they know they would have done the same exact thing if they had the chance.
But why did okay? So I mean, this has to do with
I'm
China,
gonna do
right?
a whole big
I just have two
this,
questions for you. But one question: this submarine deal has to do with China, kind of, right? I mean,
definitely,
definitely, right?
Yeah.
But why did they get the UK involved? Why was the UK involved?
Probably UK got itself involved somehow. I'll look into the details of that exactly. But UK has been so far the only country that US has shared nuclear powered and nuclear capable. I mean, the Australian ones are just going to be nuclear powered. They're not going to be nuclear capable. But the UK is the only other country that has
powered. So their submarines will be. That's it.
So nuclear power, yeah. So it can, for example, stay underwater for that's not nothing. That's a big deal. It can stay underwater as long as it wants, as long as there is food and stuff.
Man, that's so scary.
It can it's faster, it can carry more weapons, but nuclear capable submarines, I think, are only UK, US, and maybe France. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that and it's the American technology. So like you have Chinese and Russians, by the way, that have their own technologies, but this is going to be American technology. And the engines are going to be built by Rolls-Royce in the UK. That's
Fancy. Hmm.
I would imagine that's one of the main reasons why UK is involved in this
Yeah, I mean,
sort
you could
of.
have still contracted it out or something. It's just kind of weird. Like, it just seemed like the UK.
Contracted it out? What do you mean?
Like, I mean, you could have still worked with Rolls-Royce without having the UK as part of this deal, I would imagine.
And your Rolls-Royce or Boeing, these companies are heavily, the
Yeah, for
line
sure.
between them and government is like
Still,
it's like East
but
India
I know,
Company
but as
or
a government, you
Citibank.
don't have to. I mean, they could have found a way. I mean, yeah.
It's like
And I mean, the UK
no, no.
did
Look,
stay on the
it's
sideline as
look.
much as possible. I'm saying they could have done all this without publicly having the UK out there too.
I don't think so because again, it's like the COVID thing, man. When it comes, actually, we get to a tweet that may also refer to the big industries like that. They don't. It's free market and government is staying away and all that. That's all bullshit.
No, I know that, but I'm
In
saying they could
these
have not
serious,
mentioned that.
in
I
these,
completely understand what you're saying.
or like, oh, not do the press conference.
Yeah,
So
kinda.
it's a
Yeah, not
huge
really
win
having
for the
the.
UK politically. It's
Is
a
it? Yeah,
huge
yeah. No,
win
it is for
after
them. I
break.
guess that's
It's the
true.
first. I mean,
No, that's true from the UK
an
point of
expert
view.
whose name expert whose name I can recall right now described it as the first serious post-Brexit move by the UK. And
Really?
whether you think it's positive or negative, right now it seems like a huge win against EU,
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it through that angle.
against France. That's for sure. I
Well,
mean, Boris
and they're
has been
not receiving any backlash.
being so funny. It's like Boris has been like a husband who cheated on his wife. Like, oh, we admire the French culture and the French people so much. We love the French. Yeah, it's
But
just sucking up to them last few days.
but
Well,
Macron
we'll
and
get
stuff, they don't seem to be too. They're not too pissed at the UK, at least not publicly, and they didn't recall their ambassador
they
from the UK at all.
because they don't. Yeah, well, that's a lawyer, but they cancel the. Well, I'm covering all of it, but they cancel the joint defense summit.
Okay, I
The foreign
see.
minister was supposed to travel to London. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
big
maybe
one. It's
not
a
to the
good,
same extent, but yeah, no. So definitely
but
looking forward.
UK is clearly going, the whole America all the way.
Oh yeah, okay,
It seems for now, I'm
interesting. Okay,
just
yeah, no, interesting.
speculating.
So we should definitely get back to this topic. Okay, moving on to the next tweet. Our friend
I love
Bernie.
that.
No one in the
Oh
United
yeah.
States should have to ration their medicine because they can't afford their prescriptions. So I kind of thought of you last time when Bernie made a tweet like this. You were like, don't tweet, go and do something about it. But, I was like, you can tweet and do both. But the real reason I brought this up, it just reminded me of the debate in Canada during the elections, where one of the major promises of the NDP, the most socialist party, is to also have a universal public um, prescription kind of program so people don't have to get private insurance. So it just links nicely to that. So I'm not too sure. And of course, Bernie is right. Whether he's fighting for it or not, that's up to different people. People have different opinions. Some
No,
might say he
I
is
would
doing
say
his
so.
best.
No, the anti-posting position I had was, I mean, I think generally speaking, I'm anti-posting, but I suppose Bernie has a large audience, and a lot of them are probably people who don't like him necessarily. So, fair enough for him to post about these things. I was I was caught off guard last time, though. I thought it was a question,
Yeah, no worries.
and then I found out he's asking me, and I was anyway.
This time he's not
In
asking
terms
you.
of
Now
why
he's
smart
telling you,
enough,
actually.
no,
Sorry, go
this
ahead.
time, no.
Yeah.
I don't think generally speaking, the Bernie, the squad are awful. The squad, I think, are just useless completely. Bernie Sanders is much better than them, and I think he had fought in the past. So I don't know now if he's just too tired and doesn't give a shit anymore, or he maybe if he was younger, it would have been the same or something. But I wish he was far more aggressive in his attacks. But then again, yeah,
I wish so too, but the
I
time for
just
being
finished
aggressive
reading
is
uh,
long
old
gone. I mean, it's never too late, but damn, he missed his
I
opportunity.
think it's never too late.
Never too late, but he
Yes,
missed his
that's true.
opportunity.
But
I
it's
mean, I
never too
can't,
late.
yeah. I mean, he
But
dropped out
but
of the
but
race so
let me just
quickly
say
once
this:
COVID happened. Go ahead.
fucking COVID. Yeah, it's really funny though. I read the old book by Matt Taibbi. It smells like dead elephants because I could get it for free, and it was fascinating. There is a segment about Bernie Sanders, and it's way before even 2016, I believe,
Nice.
and. He's one of the very few figures that Matt Taibbi is kind of positive to, but at the end of this whole sort of adventure of there's this bill that they go through, he says that yeah, and now Bernie sort of achieved this sort of like like middle ground with that guy, and now he's going back to his like home or office or whatever happily. It seems I'm paraphrasing. I wish I remembered the exact quote. It seems even idealists know their limits in Washington or
Mhm.
something like that. So if I had read that, then maybe I wouldn't have been as surprised by his. Yeah, you're right. In 2016 and 2020, I think elections he missed his best opportunities.
I mean, in 2020, especially, I mean, I don't have the timeline exactly, so maybe this isn't how it worked out. But as soon as I remember thinking at a time that as soon as the pandemic hit hard, he dropped out of the race too quickly without trying to see if with the pandemic some kind of extra uncertainties created for him, to push his healthcare agenda and all that. I remember back then thinking, you don't have to drop out right now. Maybe this is actually a good thing that was dealt for you, but oh well.
By the way, and even if Bernie had won majority of the delegates, normal delegates, I promise you they would have challenged him through the super delegate somehow at the convention. So he made the first mistake by saying that I would support. This is the mistake Trump never made.
Hmm.
The idea that I would support whoever is the Democratic
Yeah,
candidate. You should never commit to that. You should never.
yeah.
And by the way, if you do say that, uh, then I guess, yeah, that's the after that, then it's, then the game is played.